Hello and welcome to Swoop Yoga for this gentle beginners yoga series. We're going to start today in our seated position with a cross-legged or feet out in front, and we'll start with 3 breaths as usual. So nice tall spine, drop the shoulders away from the ears, fill up the belly, inhale in through the nose, pause at the top and out through the mouth. And a couple more of those. Inhale in through the nose. Feel the lungs expand, pause at the top and out through the mouth. Relaxing all the muscles in the shoulders and the neck. And one more of those. Great. As with all yoga sessions, make sure you're tuned into your body, how it feels today, only going as far as feels comfortable. And we're just going to start in our seated position. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then we're going to exhale, leaning forwards, bringing the hands out in front of us, placing them on the ground in front. And if you're fairly upright, that's absolutely fine. Or you can walk your hands away, letting the head just kind of drop down. Maybe just kind of making a gentle rock here. So weighting the left hand, moving the weight over to the right hand. So just keeping the hands stretched out in front, but just kind of gentle rocking. And then coming still again, and just see if you can maybe move the hands slightly further forward, dropping the chest even lower down towards the legs. And just connecting in with the breath here as well. And then walking the hands over to the left. So perhaps bringing the chest above the left knee. And again, just inhaling, straightening the spine. And exhaling, folding gently over that left knee. So kind of grounding down through both feet, trying to keep the hips and the buttocks on the ground. Stretching through that right hand, breathing into the right ribs. And then walking the hands through center and bringing them across to the right. So bringing the weight and the chest above the right knee. Inhale, straighten through the spine. And exhale, gently folding over that right knee. Good, then bringing the hands back through to center and coming up into a neutral position, nice tall spine. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, we're circling the hands out behind, reaching the hands, the arms behind us. And we're trying to open up through the chest. So bring the shoulder blades together underneath, gazing up to the sky. And really breathing into the chest. Good, and pushing back up to neutral. We shall come into a tabletop position. So hands, shoulders over the hands, hips over the knees. Drop the belly, look up, inhale. And exhale, rounding through the spine, looking towards the navel. And keeping this motion going, really pushing through the fingers, the palms of the hands, but trying to gently warm up the spine with the breath. And coming back to a neutral position, we're just going to walk the hands slightly further forward, and we're going to bring the right knee out to the side, and then bringing the right knee to meet the right elbow, just holding it there for a moment, and then pushing the right knee back and pushing the hips back to heels and bring the chest lower down. So we're going to take that on the other side. So inhale, bring the left knee up to the left elbow, bringing that weight forward. And then as we exhale, pushing back hips to heels into this sort of raised extended child pose. So inhale, right knee, right elbow. And exhale back. Inhale, left knee, left elbow forwards. And exhaling back. And just one more of those on each side. So it should be engaged through the core, finding that core strength here. Last one on the left side. And pushing back. And then we'll bring the knees to the outside edges of the mat. Make sure the feet are flat, drop the hips all the way back to the heels, lowering the forehead down to the ground, coming into child pose. Good, then coming back up into tabletop. So bringing the knees back into neutral position, this tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes, slightly hover the knees off the ground. And then from here, we're going to repeat what we did before. We're going to bring the right knee up to the right elbow with the left knee hovered off the ground and step it back. And then left knee up to left elbow. So if this feels too much, just go back to having your knees back on the ground. But keep swapping the knees as we move forward and move back. And last one. On the left side. Good, and drop back into that neutral position. Then we're going to come back onto our heels. So we're still going to have the toes tucked underneath. So we're trying to sort of splay the toes out as much as we can. And then we're stretching through the base of the feet. If this feels too much for your feet, you can just bring your weight forward so you're not weighting them fully. But if you feel like this is a nice stretch for your feet, and that's great. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, we're going to circle the arms back behind us, interlace the fingers, and pushing the fist down towards the floor. And again, opening that chest up to the sky. Good, and release, coming back into tabletop. And then we can just, on the tops of the feet, just kind of tap them against the ground. Just getting better feeling back into the feet. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, push the hips back up to the sky for our downward facing dog. So trying to push the chest towards the thighs and pedaling out the legs here. Looking up towards the hands. Going to step the right foot in between the hands and drop the left knee down to the ground. Coming up into a low lunge position. I'm going to bring the hands to the tops of the right thigh and then just gently rocking the weight forwards and back into that left hip, feeling a nice stretch here. Good, and then coming to neutral, and we're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. You can have the hands so they come to touch, or you might have just a slight gap in between the hands. I'm going to try and sink low into that front right hip. Make sure that the knees in line with the toes, staying grounded through both feet, and as much as we can, we're trying to bring the shoulders and the hands slightly further back, so we're trying to open that chest still. And release. Bring the hands down to the ground, walking that right foot over to the right edge, gently pressing the right knee open. And release, and then straightening through that right leg, toes point to the sky. Inhale, nice tall spine. And exhale, folding forward over that right leg. And as we do that, we're going to bring the hands to the outside edge of the right leg. So we've got a bit of a twist here, so just kind of deepening the stretch in the left side and in the back of the right leg. Good, and then bringing the hands back to the front of the mat, and we can step the left knee so it's lifted off the ground and step the right foot back into our plank position. Just kind of moving the weight around for a moment, and then we're going to exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to come up onto our elbows, so you want the elbows fairly kind of tucked in, kind of the hands spread out, so in this low cobra position, and just connecting with the breath here. So we're trying to bring the chest forward, our gaze is lifted, and then we're going to gently just look over the right shoulder as far as that neck would like to go. And bringing the gaze through center, and then the gaze over the left shoulder. And the gaze back to neutral. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, and then we're going to lift up into our upward facing dog, tucking the toes and pushing back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs from here. Looking towards the hands, step the left foot in between the hands, drop the right knee down to the floor, bringing both hands up to the left thigh. And then with a nice tall spine, we're just gently moving the body weight forward, so sinking low and pushing back. Just getting a bit of play in the right hip here. Good, and then coming to neutral, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and as we exhale, sinking lower into that front left hip, and then reaching the arms up and back, trying to open up through the chest. Just connecting with the breath here. And then bringing the hands back down to the mat, walking the left foot over to the left edge of the mat, rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot, gently pressing the left knee open. And planting the left foot back down, pushing the weight back, extending that left leg long, toes lift up to the sky. Inhale, straighten up through the spine, and exhale, gently folding over that left leg, keeping the bend just in the hips, nice straight spine. And then walking both hands to the outside edge of that left leg, creating a bit more of a twist. Good, and then bringing the hands forward, planting both hands onto the ground, step the left foot back into plank, and hovering here for a moment again. And then you can drop the knees or keep them lifted, lower all the way down, and coming back up into our low cobra position, so the elbows are fairly kind of tucked in, bringing our gaze up and then opening up through the chest. And again, we're going to look over the right shoulder. Let's really make sure you're looking after that neck, bringing the gaze through center and looking over the left shoulder. And the gaze back to neutral. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale for upward dog. Tuck the toes and exhale for downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. And we're going to drop the knees down to the mat. And from here, we're just going to inhale, reach the arm up to the sky, opening up through that shoulder again. And exhale, we're going to feed it underneath the left shoulder, bringing the ear close to the ground, but not on the ground, hovering. So we inhale, reach and open. And exhale, thread underneath. And just one more of those. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And exhale, thread. Good. Coming back up into neutral, and we'll just swap to the other side. So inhale, reaching that left arm up and opening. And exhale, threading under the right. Inhale, reach. And exhale, thread. And last one. Good. Coming back up into that tabletop, and then we shall come to a seat. So we are going to extend the left leg long and the right foot coming to the inside of that left leg. So we want to try and open the hips as much as we can here. We're going to bring the left hand to the right knee. Inhale, straighten up through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to bring that right arm up and over, reaching for those left toes. So you want to keep the right shoulder nice and open. And just breathing into that right side body. Good. And coming back up. And then squaring the shoulders to the left foot. We're going to inhale, reach the spine up tall. And exhale, folding forward over that left leg, walking the hands down the shin, perhaps to the base of the foot. Bringing the gaze towards the toes. Good. And inhale, release. And then we shall swap over. So the right leg is extended, left foot to the inside of the right thigh. We're trying to keep the hips fairly open. It's a nice tall spine. Right hand to left knee. Left hand reaches up, and as we exhale, we're bending over, reaching for those right toes, staying active in the legs, but trying to keep that left shoulder nice and open. Good, and release coming up. Then bringing the chest and the shoulders square onto the right toes. Inhale, nice tall spine. And exhale, folding forward over that right leg. Staying active in the legs, in the feet. Good, and release, coming back up. We are going to come down onto our backs, hugging these into the chest, and then we're going to extend the left leg long, hug the right knee into the chest so the nose nearly meets the knee, and we're just going to swap legs, again kind of hugging that left knee in, and swap again, keeping the extended leg slightly raised off the floor, and swap again. And then one last time, hugging that right knee in, And we're going to plant the left foot down and bring the right knee across the body. So we're trying to get the right knee onto the ground. We're also going to extend the right arm out to our right as well. So trying to open up through the chest. Maybe the left hand finds the top of the right knee to kind of gently press it down, so bringing the knee even more across our body. But really listening in to if this feels okay for your spine, for your leg, and if not, then just rein in the stretch. Good, and release, bring that right knee back into the chest, and then extend the right leg long, hug the left knee into the chest, and then drawing that left knee across the body to the right, and then reaching the left arm out behind, and trying to bring the left shoulder onto the ground. And release. And just one last time, hugging both knees into the chest, maybe a gentle rock from side to side, and then extending the legs out long and bringing the shoulders underneath the body together. And if you can, palms of the hands face up, and just let everything go here in this Shavasana, the most important pose in yoga. Just listening in to the breathing. Just watching where the breath goes. Does it reach the base of the tummy? Can you watch the ribs expand and contract? Can you just relax all of the muscles around the face, the forehead, the jaw, all the muscles in the neck and the shoulders, all the muscles down the arms, the torso, the legs. And just watching and listening for the breath. And if you have the time, then pause the video here and enjoy this pose for longer. And then we'll gently wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and we'll reach the arms up above the head for a nice big stretch. And then slowly rolling over to one side and coming back up to a seat. Just finish in our cross-legged or comfortable seat, reaching the arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you'd like to leave any comments below, then please do. And just enjoy that the sun has broken through the clouds in this chilly, wintry session. Thank you.